Hi there, my name is Jeida K, Storey, and I am a transformational life coach. And today I want to talk about stories. The stories are a big part of who we are. And I don't mean the stories like the books that I have behind me, but I mean the stories of our life, the stories that shape who we are. Because quite as it's kept, the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories of our lives, they actually do something more than just tell a narrative. They actually begin to form our beliefs. What we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world, what we believe about almost anything. And I wanted to share a brief story about how stories can be formed in a split second that can change our whole worldview. And I want to use a personal example, if I may. Earlier today, my son came home and he wanted a fruit snack. And so he was enjoying his snack. And then his little sister, who is 2 years younger than him, came and swiped his snacks. And of course, you can imagine for a 6-year-old, he was quite upset. And when I saw what was going on, I went to my young daughter and tried to help her understand that you can't just take people's things from them when they're enjoying a snack. You have to ask. And I gave her an option that if you want something, you can always ask mommy and I will give you what you need. And in me trying to tell her that, she started to get upset. She started to cry. I tried to be as gentle as I could to explain why her brother was upset. She allowed herself to calm down, and then she gave her brother back the fruit snacks. In that moment, he was excited. He was happy because the thing that had been taken from him had been returned and restored, right? And mommy looked like the hero. And in a split second, everything changed. Because what happened after that, I recognized, was about to shape a new story. And I was watching it unfold before my eyes. See, what happened after that is once his sister gave him back the snack, he was about to pick it up and eat it when I stopped him. And I said, could you please hand them back to your sister? I'll give you a brand new pack. And I don't know if he even heard my offer to get a fresh pack, but I saw on his face that he was deeply impacted. My perception is that he heard me say no, that he'd already had the experience of something being taken from him without his consent, and he experienced me supporting or trying to get his sister to release the item. And once she did so, I was now taking it from him. And as I recognized what was happening, I realized this is what happens to us all the time. We go through life, we have these experiences, and something happens. The story plays out, and a belief is formed. And I thought of what possible beliefs he might start to formulate, ideas about himself, that maybe his sister is preferred over him, that maybe mommy only comes to the rescue and to support my sister, but not me. Mommy doesn't love me. Mommy doesn't want me to have what I want to have. I never get my way. And those are certain just ideas of things that I was trying to kind of picture and imagine what could be going through my 6-year-old's mind. And it made me stop. Because what he didn't know, or what he doesn't understand, is that my daughter has a little bit of a sniffle, has a little bit of some type of sickness that she's been getting treatment for, and it is contagious. And I didn't want him to get sick. When I was asking for him to please give them back to your sister, it was because she had already put some of them in her mouth, and I didn't want him to fall prey to the same sickness that she is moving through. In my ask for him to please give them back to your sister, I was not asking him to set aside his desire or set aside his wish. I was actually protecting him. But is that what he experienced? No. Is that what he knew? No. Was that the truth that he could understand? No. But it is a real story that could create a real belief. And as a life coach, I saw how precious and tender this moment was. And so I'm bringing this story to you to ask you about your stories. Have you been curious about some of the thoughts that you have, some of the beliefs that you have? And I wonder, as I'm thinking about my son, I'm thinking about my life, and I'm thinking about your life, and I'm thinking about all the things that happen to us, the stories that we create about whether or not someone loves us, whether or not someone likes us, whether or not someone approves, whether or not someone cares about what we care about, whether or not we are worthy. And so those stories become beliefs that shape our behaviors and how we move and how we relate to ourselves in the world. And so in that moment, while he was still tender, I took him into my lap and I asked if he wanted to talk about it. He told me no. I told him, I said, I have a fruit snack for you and it's just for you. And he was lying his head on my shoulder and he perked up a little bit. He said, oh, as if that was a disruption to the story. That was the plot twist in the story, that mommy had something for me the whole time. And in that moment, I asked him, I said, what can mommy do to support you right now? And he said, I would really like the fruit snack. And I said, you bet. Why did I tell this story today? Because this illustrates the power of a reframe. This also illustrates the power of relating to one another to disrupt stories that are harmful. This also hopefully adds some perspective and allows us to be curious about the stories that we carry, the stories that we've lived, to maybe see if there's another perspective, something that we don't know. Even if in that moment, it felt real. That moment of my son losing something that he really, really wanted and was enjoying, then having his mother take it from him after it had been given back. That was a real experience for him. That really happened. If he carried the belief that mom doesn't love me, mom doesn't care, mom prefers my sister, that was arguably real for him. But was it true? And so I say this to hopefully help you feel empowered today, that you can have a very real experience and your feelings about it are so valid. I would even say sacred. And there's a possibility that there's a truth that you don't know. And perhaps that will help us to prepare to tell new stories, to reshape our beliefs. One story, one chapter, one page at a time. If this has been resonating with you, I would love if you could drop me a comment and let me know. Tell me what's coming up. Tell me what is making you think about. I would love to chat with you in the comment section. And if you're interested in booking a free consultation call to see if life coaching with me is something that will be an alignment for you, then check the description box. I have all that information there for you. I would love to sit with you, to talk about some of these things, to walk through your stories and see where we can uncover your most empowered self. Until next time, remember your sovereignty.